with my nigga D.I.E. So you know I must be dope, but rat-tat-tat-tat that ass. Started stabbing with Drake.
Hello, I think I actually got it back. I'll wait for this to repopulate, I guess, so that nobody, I guess, misses anything, and then I'm gonna go finally talk to Beds, because this has not gone off without a hitch. I've had very many issues in trying to come back here. This has been a trial. This has been an error. So now let me delete all these unnecessary messages. There's probably a maid bot that I could do to sweep all of this up, and I'll probably innovate this server further before my next thingy. And yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with what I have here, and I'm about to oh wait, no, not speak message, I clicked the wrong thing. Alright, let's see here. Let's go back in. Okay. Hi, Bed. I'm so sorry that there's been so many errors. I think we're finally having it working now, though. How are you? Bed? In the time that it took me to set up everything and get everything working, I think Bed fell asleep. Hello? Most interesting. Hold on, I'll ping them. Come on, I love Beds. It took did I take so long that they actually fell asleep? That's unfortunate. Hello? Aww. He really does love Beds. He loves sleeping in beds, and I feel so bad. That's why he was waiting so patiently. Was because he freaking fell off into dreamland. He's like little Nemo, coursing through slumberland. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but in the meantime, I'll go back to our, I'll play us some waiting room music in the meantime, and then if he wakes up, and if not, after a while, I don't think that there's any more callers lined up, or if there were, I don't know if they're here anymore, because I took so very long to get to, one that I don't think there are anymore. So I'm gonna play another song, and then we will see if Bed returns.
Hello? Hello, hello, hello? There we are. Finally.
There we
This is
go.
great.
You're coming through. You had to wait so long, Beds. You had the longest
I-
wait time out of anybody.
I just had a prophecy of a dream, and
What was your prophecy?
I was seeing moon cheeses hovering over the grass, and they were talking to the insects. Insects said, "I don't like cheese," and then I woke up.
Ooh, what do you think that this foreboding prophecy could be telling us? What does this mean? What's the deeper meaning?
Been great as I wish I'd known. I wish I was wise enough to tell. It's 1,000 words.
It's 1,000 words. Okay, tell us some of these thousands of words.
No.
No?
The symbols in the
Oh.
dream tell 1,000 words. I can't interpret them.
Why? Why can't
I
you
don't know. I
interpret
can't
them?
understand. I don't know. It's like a mystery.
Come on. Like, if you're so wise, can't you share with us the mysteries of the universe? Do you want us to suffer in our ignorance?
Yeah, sometimes.
Why?
Sometimes y'all deserve it.
Why do I deserve it? What did I ever do to deserve this? I've been kind and conscientious to you, Bet. I mean, I neglected you for 3 hours, but it happens.
I wish I remember what she said, so I could give her the wise words that she needed at this very moment when she needs those wise words. But I had forgotten what she said.
That's okay. That's okay. We're still rolling onwards. And how are you tonight, Beds? Have you been liking the groovy tunes that we've been listening to?
Oh yeah, I've been liking the groovy tunes. It makes me. I knew about the Ween's first album, but I never gave it a full listen. But I was in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you've been making me want to listen to, give it a listen more. I mean, I love music, but I always like go back to the same songs. Mostly because like they're very simple. I like sentimental music a lot.
There's a lot of sentimental Ween songs. Maybe you would like
I
Sarah or Birthday Boy or something like that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I would definitely love that. I like grungy stuff too. I really want to get into grungy stuff. I remember when I was really obsessed with music, I would go to Discogs.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, I would just go there and just find like obscure folk rock albums for like hours and hours and hours until I find something I liked. And I would like doom scroll Discog.
That's cool. Well, you can find a lot of really good deals on Discogs because some people are just trying to get rid of stuff, and so they'll be selling it for like $4.
You can find good deals, but you can also find obscure music if you decide.
That's true.
If you doom scroll.
So do you ever kind of just like get random things based on if the cover appeals to you or not, or do you always have like?
It's mostly like a feel of the cover, a mixture with the title, like a mixture of both. And then I just try it out, and if I like it or not, I'll figure it out. Also, the people who post the videos, well, you might find something unique for their posts. Because usually they post like stuff that like most people don't really listen to.
Well, so what are some of the things that you like? Tell us some of the bands that you listen to, if you don't mind.
Okay, actually my profile picture, I like, he's kind of well known. He has a very popular song called Sore Feet. His name is Ali Kerr. He's a really good musician. I like his music mostly because it's very loving, sentimental, intimate. I just love his music a lot. But let me go to my YouTube real quick. I have like a watch list. I can't remember the names or the titles even.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's a really good musician. They're Japanese, but there's one specific song that in Japanese text that I cannot read, but I know his name. Haruka Nakamura. His stuff is fantastic, and the song that I like in particular, it has like imagine like winter, but you hear the sounds of the forest and the cicadas in the background and the gentleness of time passing by.
So it's kind of like a really immersive experience with like a complex atmosphere.
He makes more ambient work.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really loving.
After this, you might have to spell out some of these names so that we can be sure to actually get them down.
Oh yeah. I'll type it in right now for him.
And what are some other things that you enjoy? Some of your other top artists, if you don't mind telling us.
Of course, 1 second. Let me just type. I wish I had my memory was longer than 1 second so I can remember Japanese names. Okay, I'll type it in later for y'all.
Okay, thank
you. There is people probably know this anime, but I don't really like the anime. I only like the visual novel, and I'm not really much of an anime nor visual novel person. But Higoroshi no Nokokoni, When They Cry, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The visual, I really love the visual novel and its background songs, mostly because obviously sentimental, a lot of sentimental values and being able to capture very intimate human relations in its natural environment.
So since sorry.
Keep going.
I was going to ask, since you tend to enjoy these really emotive songs, do you consider yourself to be a very emotional person? Or perhaps do you enjoy these songs because you feel as though they express something that you struggle to?
A mixture of both, because it's hard to explain, because like while I do feel emotions, and I'm a very sentimental and emotional person, and aware of that, I guess like I struggle to actively experience things around me. So through music and art, I can actively engage in that emotional process instead of actively engaging it in the world. It doesn't mean that I don't, and not that I'm aware of it when I'm outside. But when I'm in the world, it's most likely you're in a state of flux, because when you're outside, the world's in a constant state of flux. There's no knowledge that you can really attain through other than a temporary one.
Mm-hmm.
I know that doesn't really make much sense, but like the information that you build up for your senses when interacting in the world, it's temporary. It's going to change. It's not real knowledge that you can actually integrate on a consistent basis.
No, I think that actually does make a lot of sense, because since the conditions are so much different, you're just programmed to act different in every scenario, so there's nothing that's going to be perfectly consistent. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. There's I really love this song, and obviously, you probably heard of it. It's kind of popular. It has 12 million views. It's by the Avett Brothers, No Hard Feelings. I love that song to death.
I might not have actually heard that song before. See,
It's actually really... Keep going.
Oh, I was just saying, you're hitting me with a lot of deep cuts, because everything you've mentioned so far, I'm not actually familiar with, so I really appreciate that you're bringing something unfamiliar to the table.
Oh, of course. I wasn't really expecting to join this, but I was like, hey, might as well, because tomorrow at 1 a.m., I have to head to the airport to see my friends up in Chicago for the first time.
That's awesome!
I'm going to be flying for the first time and being out of state for the first time. It's very exciting.
I hope you have a lot of fun there. I've actually heard that Chicago has a really active punk scene. Do you think that's true? Or I guess you haven't been there yet, but if you find that's true, tell me about it.
Well, to be fair, I knew someone who was ex-homeless who traveled a lot. They said the New York has like a really strong underground scene. I don't know if it's still around, but I would imagine any metropolitan area has like a punk scene in general going on. Because, punk is just about like human angst and human struggles and being able to release that.
So what plans do you have with your friends whenever you get to Chicago? Anything like very in particular?
Well, we're going to go to the Institute of Art. It's like an art museum, basically. I'm really excited for that because personally, I'm a visual artist, and being able to see all the artworks from the artists I have admired throughout the years is going to be super exciting. Of course, the main reason I'm there, though, is my friends. Everything else is kind of secondary, but like I'm gonna try some new foods like Arabian, Somali, Pakistani.
That sounds delicious, and you're certainly right. You can be anywhere, and as long as you're in good company, it's going to be absolutely exhilarating. And similarly, even in a very exciting place, if you're in bad company, then it's going to soil the experience.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be in good company. That's what makes people. I'm trying to find the words. it depends on the relationships, but people partly influence your perceptions of the world around you and how you perceive that at the moment that is going on in the state of being. Kind of like you're just, when you're out in the world, the person right next to you is influencing your state of being in the constant world of flux. So naturally, they're going to heavily influence your perceptions of the world around you and what you actually experience with those things around you because of their presence and your own belief system, good or bad.
Yeah. And so, in a sense, that means that the people that you keep around you are a reflection of you and you of them. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. I think the people from the past and currently form who you are and who you're going to be. And the people that are meant to be in your life are those who transcend you rather than bring you down.
Hmm. Oh, by the way, I have a specific question for you. I'm just curious. Are you one of Raimi Ricotta's viewers?
No, I've never heard of her until this stream.
Oh, then how did you come across? Oh, wait, did you say earlier that you just came across it by randomly scrolling on YouTube? I'm curious.
Yeah, just randomly on YouTube. I was looking at Smiling Friend contest because I was like doom scrolling YouTube.
Oh,
and
you
I
saw
found
my
your
Smiling
Pim
Friends
video. I was
video.
like, okay, sure, I like Pim.
Yeah.
I want to hear why they like Pim. So I looked to watch Pim, and you tell me why Pim is underrated.
Yeah.
He really is. But,
He is, and he has those gathering abilities.
Yeah, Pim's awesome. I like Pim. Speaking of which, I actually really enjoy your content. I'm not much of a VTuber person.
Oh.
The reason why I enjoy your content because I feel like it makes me enter a certain state of being or a transcendent state of being, especially your more psychedelic work. But it's just also humorous.
I really appreciate hearing that. I always love whenever somebody is perhaps disconnected, but I'll still keep on talking. Some of the things about me are not very typically VTuber, and so that you're getting something out of that, and that you were able to find this and enjoy what we're doing here. I really appreciate hearing that.
Of course, and I appreciate letting me come here and talk to you. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Who's your favorite Smiling Friends character?
I love Glep and Alan a lot.
I see. You like them more than our...
Mr. Boss a lot.
Mr. Boss is funny.
Mr. Boss is Dave.
Who's your favorite, like, one-off character that they did? Like, not a main cast, but just, like, a little random one.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Let me think. I like... I'm trying to remember his name. I love this. I don't really like him outside his first appearance, but I love that SoundCloud artist guy.
Oh, DJ Spit.
Yeah, DJ Spit. I don't like him when I don't like the scene when he gets like a helicopter. I think like they went too far with that, but like I love DJ Spit.
What do you mean by they went too far? Specifically, what do you mean?
Like, in season 2, Alan was finding paper clips, and DJ Spit just like came out of nowhere, stole those paper clips, and then hop onto an airplane, and then was shooting out like freaking bullets at like the U.S. Army chasing him.
I see, and you just found that to be like excessive, I suppose.
Yeah, like they're just pushing him out too much. I love DJ Spit, but like I don't feel like that's what a DJ. I don't feel like DJ Spit would do that.
Oh, I see. It was just too random for you.
Yeah, it was too random. What was another good one-off character? I mean, I love Jason.
He was funny.
Obviously, especially in the new season, he was perfect.
I thought that Mip was really funny.
Which one's Nip?
Mip, he was the little Hobbit parody.
Oh, he was weird too. It was funny.
And 3D Squelton. I like 3D Squelton a lot. He was the CGI guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was awesome too. He reminds me of my friend Richard, but
oh, that's cool.
Richard's not a failure, but he has like that. He has that drip.
Really?
Richard really has that drip. Yeah.
All right, let's give Richard a shout out. Richard, we love you. We love you and your 3D Felton and drip.
There you go. See, that's the truth right there.
Tell us about Richard. What defines the nature of Richard?
Richard is a beautiful human being. Aww. Like, sincerely. Like, he's like in his 40s, and he done like a lot of like psychedelics, weed, and things like that. but like he at one point he did like 100 tabs of like LSD or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And went out, basically he almost turned perma-schizo, but like,
Jesus.
but like he was able to calm down, and now, and like when people first see him, you may think he's a loser, but once you actually get to know him, talk to him, he's actually the most loving, calming, sincere, wise, encouraging person. He helps people on a daily basis. That's his mission. He helps people.
That's
And I
awesome.
believe through his like integrated experiences, I believe he's able to help people through his issues, and like his presence just allows that to be possible.
He's just been through it all, and he's come out as just like a very good and positive person, and so he's a positive beacon to anybody who he interacts with.
Yes, exactly. He's like a freaking. I don't know how he survived. Like personally, for me, like I've done shrooms. And I was like, there's one point where like I was walking through a trail, my cousin and her girlfriend, and I told them to walk ahead of me, and I just sat by a tree, and that was probably like the worst decision I made. And I was fine after it, but like what happened was, and I knew it was happening. I was aware of my actions while it was happening. I was looking at my wallet, trying to find my identity.
Yeah.
And because while I was looking at the grass, everything was focusing on like the middle point, and was changing to like a demon-looking esque elf.
That's horrific.
Person. Yeah, and I was like, I don't want you to experience that. So while being aware that my phone was like 5%, me frantically looking for my wallet in the forest by a tree that looked dead. It was a good experience though, because it actually did help. I called my cousin and we found each other, but I was lost in the woods for a bit. There was like a trail. I was lost in the woods for a bit, and it made me realize without other people, I would go insane or crazy.
You can't handle the isolation? Well, you're a sentimental person, kind of, is what we've been talking about, too.
Yeah. It's like, let me think. It's because, like, maybe subconsciously, maybe I'm not consciously aware, but I am actively thinking about a lot of things without me being consciously aware of it, because everything's integrated itself consciously and subconsciously. And if I don't say that or have people to ground me around me, I kind of get lost inside my own head real easy without knowing it. So other people ground me and have an actual life, partly so. And also I want to reiterate, I remember when I was having psychosis,
Oh, no.
or I want to call it like bad psychosis. I would, as mild as psychosis can be. I was really struggling myself because I was a recluse for 5 years. I never had a relationship with much people. My mother was like, let's say, kind of distant, such. And so I was basically slowly going insane, and I did art during this time, obviously.
Oh, that's cool.
But and that's one of the things that kept me sane, because obviously it's a visual outlet to what I'm actively experiencing. But I'll go outside, like let's say, and but I realized once I started walking outside, I know it's a weird thing, but the thing that kept me grounded, sane, and human, who taught me to be human again, wasn't people, wasn't ideas, wasn't concepts, but the actual state of being that nature can only offer. Because you can think, you can have knowledge, but all those are secondhand when you're interacting in a digital space. Those are secondhand knowledge. Those are not real experiences. When you're interacting with nature, you're interacting with the actual existence of things, where everything originates, our concepts, our understandings, our feelings, who we are. And once I realized that, I found a relation of who I am. Not who I think I am, but who I actually am.
Are you perhaps a fan of Walden by Henry David Thoreau?
Actually, very good question. I read Ralph Waldo Emerson in his selected essays.
Oh.
He was the main reason I was thinking so importantly of nature and how important it is. I really, 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 really love his philosophy and his perspective and insight and the incredible importance he puts on nature and how and why. He actually explains how our perceptions, understanding symbols is related to nature. Everything originates from nature. And he also talks about the importance of being an individual rather than, obviously fall into the crowd and things like that.
I think
But I really love his work.
we're on a bit of a similar wavelength, because whenever I do become immersed with nature, I suppose that I feel very much the same. It makes me realize how great of a force it is that it has existed before me and will exist after me, and after all else has ceased, it will still be. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. It'll still be. And this is a really important lesson as well. That's also okay to be. You can let go. You don't have to hold on to who you are right now. You don't have to hold on to the things that are happened to you. You don't have to hold on to your achievements, because that's not you. That's what you become after. That's what you become while existing. But once you're gone, who you are is going to have to go back to, in my opinion, nothingness, but also infinity at the same time. It's like a duality.
You're right. And also, I think that a lot of the times that people don't realize that, say, this is maybe zoning in on a very specific aspect of this. If, let's say, that they've done a lot of bad in their life, that doesn't mean that they necessarily have to continue, and that at any point in your lives you can, change the pattern that you're making. And even if you can't, say, change your overall output to more ethical goods in the world, you can still stop the bad thing that you're doing and do better than you could have been doing before. There's still some opportunity of improvement, and there's never any point where it's too hopeless to ever give up entirely on any form of change, I think.
Oh yeah, of course, I completely agree. I was in a really bad spot because I think this is okay to mention here. I don't really personally care if people know about this, and this big sort of subject matter is okay. Personally, I've struggled with porn addiction in the past. Now, not so much. I have a lot of self-control, but back then it was really bad. It made me really reevaluate a lot of my relationships to things around me and who I am, the good and bad. And it's kind of like, I feel like what happens is it okay to talk about this?
Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Go ahead.
Okay, let's make this work. When it comes to sexual acceptance, you attach yourself onto the form of it, and it builds a relationship, but it's a false relationship, if that makes sense. Not by relationship, I don't mean like with an actual person per se, but the idea or concept of what that thing is. It could be a cartoon character, it can be a robot, it could be anything, it could be literally anything. But you're self-relating to that and putting your identity onto that, and that's all you can think about, and it becomes an obsessive thought. And then once you're obsessed with that thought, it's hard to relate to other things because you're relating that obsessive thought with other things. And if you don't have a self-identity, for example, and you can't relate to, let's say, who you are, where your real life is, because you don't have many real life experiences, because you haven't actually allowed yourself to just simply be and actually interact with the world around you, then then that becomes like a really scary area because you lose your self-identity, but then you become your obsession. And what that obsession is, good or bad, can lead you to either an ideal, or it could lead you down a rabbit hole you don't want to go down to.
I see. And so, since you've been able to overcome that for a time, there was a saga of your life where your whole identity was your addiction to pornography, but now that you've overcome that, it's as though you've reclaimed yourself.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. yeah, it took a long time. Nature was a fundamental God too, but like, in my opinion, God's like feeling whole and unified with the state of being and its existence itself.
Mm.
And then we conceptualize that to better our form of understanding and simplify that state of experience. And that's good because like the more you can simplify something, the more easier you can integrate it with other things around you and make sense of the things around you. So actually, so.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that you were willing to share this with us and talk about your struggles, because I'm sure that can also be challenging at times to acknowledge these things.
Back then it really was, but I kind of let go of it because I don't really relate to the sins in my past as much anymore. I'm aware of them and integrated those experiences, but that person who that was doesn't really exist anymore.
Well,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're certainly proud of you here for being able to overcome that. I'm sure that took a lot of mental fortitude, and like you said, your immersion with nature and spirituality. Is there anything else in particular you'd like to share with us today?
Sure. Yeah, I love art.
Oh yeah, post some of your art if you'd like. If you have like an art Twitter or another website, go ahead and post it.
So I have a Google Drive. It has everything I've done, but I don't know. There's some content in there from the days of who I was in the past, for example, that is, like it ain't horrible. But like, it's kind of like not safe for work, but like not like hardcore or anything like that. It's kind of like it's revealing or suggestive.
Understood. Well, yeah, you can still go ahead and post your link. I think that would be fine as long as we have like a fair warning beforehand.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Of course, yeah. I want to show that type of stuff without being conscious of it.
Yes, you're a brony. Well, there's nothing wrong with being a brony. I liked My Little Pony myself as well whenever it came out. Or maybe someone's just saying that randomly about you. I don't know. I just took it at face value.
I mean, back then when I was a teenager, I was.
Oh,
but,
well.
like, I don't really identify with that myself now.
Yeah, well.
Again, it was just, like, an obsession.
During that time, which of the main 6 did you like? I liked, well, I won't say who I liked. I'm curious.
Well, like, I was kind of like, well, back then, if I remember correctly, I really liked Derpy, Pinkie Pie. I'm trying to think. I forgot that rock girl. I don't remember her name though.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember her name either.
I liked all those characters, but I don't really have much of a relationship to it anymore. I don't think.
Well, any parting words before we go back to tunes for a bit before we bring in our next viewer?
Let me think. Oh yeah, I have a poem that I was going to read because I prepared it just in case.
Oh, okay.
One second. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All these brushing fields full of lights and darks, those days wandered past streams of pardoned memories. Each boulder carried a million handprints. Those moments shaped how we would see the orange sky, every kiss refreshing a part of our truths. Years, the clouds adrift, beast frolicking with joy. Everything stared back at an innocent folly, all laughter at this fool's game. All right, and that's all I have to say.
That was very nice. Now, one quick question. Was that written by you, or was that one of someone else's?
That was written by me.
Oh, very nice. You did a great job. Well, thank you. I really appreciate your time. I'm sorry it took so long to get everything up and running, but I really appreciate your company and your thoughts and what you've shared with us today.
No problem. Thank you for giving me time to have a conversation with you and sharing my thoughts, feelings, and interests. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to kick you out and take care and have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we've kicked out beds, and now we're going to do some pleasant, groovy tunes for a while while we prepare our next buddy. Well, we'll conclude the song that we were on, and then I have another one prepared next. So let's go ahead.
Mother Earth is pregnant for the third time, for y'all have knocked her up. I have tasted the maggots in the mind of the universe. I was not offended, for I knew I had to rise above it all, or drown in my own shit.
Trying to please all these people.
Alright, so now we are finally ready for Squid. So let me get you. Let me acquire Squid. Where art thou, Squid? Alright, let me look for you inside of my thing. Oh, Squid 666. Alright, Squid, we're gonna put you in, kid. Are you ready? Can you handle the pressure that you're being assigned here? So whenever you're ready, just join my VC channel, and you'll be in here, and you'll have gotten your turn, Squid. The Squid like Squid Games. I have no clue. We'll have to ask him whenever he joins us in here. Man, Maggot Brain was really good though, and put me into a good mood. Squid!
Keep your stream. I hear two people. Can you hear me?
I can hear you indeed. How are you?
And how were you, Odette?
I'm okay. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, Squid. I kind of thought that I didn't expect you to be like American or Canadian or to have that sort of voice. I kind of thought you would be from like Latin America, but like with a really thick Latin American accent.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like your PFP is Aqua, and I feel like Aqua is perhaps a VTuber that I don't know, Latin America would enjoy.
Okay. So you're getting ESL vibes from me, is what you're trying to say?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, understandable. Well,
What?
thank you for not, running away from me just because you thought I was, like, Brazilian.
Well, why would I do that? I love Brazil. One of my favorite viewers of all time, the Mechanicat, is in fact a Brazilian mechanic.
That's amazing.
I know!
I'm glad you have a good opinion of Brazilians.
Brazil is a beautiful place, probably. They have the giant Jesus on a hill. They have those beautiful ladies. They have so much wonderful things in Brazil. Have you ever been?
Brazil? No, I've been to Mexico, but I wouldn't go to Brazil because I heard they eat guinea pigs, and I've seen what they do to pizza, and I think it's a tragedy.
I've seen those Brazilian pizzas. They put on a bunch of like mayonnaise and corn and onions and various random. Well, Swedish people do that too, but nonetheless, they both have terrible pizza. It's not a competition.
Yeah, I've even seen a tire on a pizza.
A tire? What do you mean by that?
Like right off your car.
You saw this in Brazil.
Yeah, when I was there. No, I saw it online.
Oh, I think you're a covert Brazilian. Alright, it's time to bust out the Portuguese. Go on.
Why the one
Oh, that's great. Wow, I didn't know that you were actually Brazilian. That's wonderful.
Yeah, my Portuguese is like not the best, but I try.
Thank you for trying, and that's all that we can really ask of you. That you put forth just
Yeah.
like a modicum of effort. So how are you feeling tonight? I see that you weren't enjoying Maggot Brain. You had your own little Spotify open. Do you think you're too good? Think you're too good for Funkadelic? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Ween.
That wasn't Ween. That was a whole different thing. But nonetheless, you hate Ween.
Yeah, I'm jumping down your throat to say it, but I hate Ween. I'm sorry, bro.
Dude, okay. Tell me all the things that you hate about Ween.
Well, first of all, I've never listened to them. That's the main thing. I hate when people tell me to like something,
Mhm.
because then I'll never like it. You know what I mean?
You're a contrarian, okay?
Exactly. I have no spine either. So like, even if I did like it, I'd be like, no, I didn't like that.
Because you just want to feel special about things. How would you feel if like we were all to start saying how much we hated you, Squid? How would you respond to that?
Unironically, I would enjoy that.
You want to be
Don't take this
despised?
the wrong way. I don't hate people.
Mhm.
I just really have a hard time expecting like anything super kino from people. So I think that
Okay.
kind of holds me back too.
So if we were all to express extreme cruelty and disdain for you, it would reaffirm your interest, and so that would actually be a good experience for you, because you'd be like, I knew it. This is just the nature of people being hateful and horrible to me.
Oh, not in that way. No,
No.
it would just be like interesting for me because mostly people are just boring. So I'd be like, oh fuck, now we can do something. Oh wait, can I swear?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really swear that often, but that's just how I talk. But I don't mind if anybody else does.
Okay.
Mhm.
I did have a very long list of questions, which I won't ask you all of them.
Okay, go.
I'm just gonna
go.
pepper them in there. Okay.
Shoot for them,
First
kid.
question: did you get that bonnet?
I did get the bonnet, and it was pretty cool. I mean, I looked really stupid, but it did prevent me from getting any sunburns, which I could appreciate.
Okay, so that was my second question. Have you worn it?
I have worn it a
Which-
little bit, actually.
Okay. And then in response to that, I just wanted to say, prairie girl in a radder world, stinking it up with her clam skin pocket.
What? What is that? Who do you think you are? Do you think you're Ween? Do you think you're Primus? That's almost a very weenie lyric, isn't it?
I almost want to say it's very like Squiddish.
Squiddish?
Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what Ween even sounds like. Because again,
Because you hate them. You have
never
no.
listened to them.
That's true, and you're never going to, because you know how much I love them, and of course you have to defy my nature. Alright, let me try to think of a Squid question for you. So whenever you saw that I had a prairie bonnet, did that make you not want to wear one because you didn't want to have to try to emulate my behavior because you think I'm lame and stupid?
No. Actually, when I saw that, I was like, that is really cool. It's very unique. I would like, if I saw someone out wearing a bonnet, I would probably say something to them. I'd be like, God damn, I love your bonnet.
Have you thought about becoming a bonneter then? Because there's lots of custom bonnets on Etsy. You could even get a bonnet with, I don't know, Raimi Ricotta printed onto it, probably.
Oh, how do you know I'm a Raimi Ricotta fan?
I just inferred it because all of these other people are Raimi Ricotta fans and they keep on, like, acknowledging you, so it's obvious that you get along.
Me and Raimi get along?
Well,
or
no,
me and
you
the
and the other fans. Presumably you get along with Raimi, but I mean, you all act as though you know each other, and they all like Raimi Ricotta, and so it would follow that you're also a Raimi Ricotta fan.
Yeah, you could say I'm a fan of Raimi Ricotta.
Yeah. Well, what if you are Raimi Ricotta right now, and you're using a voice changer, and you're gonna disparage me for being hungry again, and you're gonna be like, no, you can't go get a delicious snack. You have to say no to delicious, nutritious tacos and stuff.
More likely than you think, honestly.
Jesus. Ravi, what are you doing? I thought that your time was up, and now I'm trying to give some of this stage here to Mr. Squid, who has so patiently waited despite me thinking that he was Brazilian for no reason. Well, see, okay, the thing is that it's not necessarily that you type like an ESL. It's that you're very friendly and positive with your messages. And so the people who are friendly are generally people from the other countries because it's easy to say stuff that's nice because it's easy to say, I don't know, friendly things, but it takes a lot more thought to say, I don't know, rude things. And so you were too, I don't know, upbeat, and I think you use smiley faces. And smiley faces gives me also the impression of being from a different country.
What? Smiley faces?
Smiley.
Emojis are way better than normal ones, okay? I'll be real with you.
That's true. Well, I like the text emojis, not necessarily the nasty yellow bubble types. Those are hideous, and I will agree with that.
Mhm. I get it, though. I'm originally not from America. I'll just say that.
Let
But,
me guess the country.
I
And
think... Yeah, go ahead.
Ecuador?
I don't... No, it's nowhere Spanish.
Sweden?
No. I'm white, I'll give you that.
Vietnam?
No.
Russia?
No.
Okay, who? What was it then?
It's Greece.
Greece. Oh, that's cool, actually.
You could say that.
Do you ever yearn for your homeland? Do you yearn for the delicious olives and oils of your mother country?
Yes and no. How would I say this without breaking character?
Breaking character.
I do like thinking about it,
Mhm.
but it's more of like a bittersweet thing than it is like, oh, I want to go back there
Oh.
type deal.
Wait, what do you mean by breaking character? Are you a character, Squid?
Of course I am.
Okay, explain your character to us, please.
Like, you want me to break the fourth wall?
Yeah, break the fourth wall like a quirky little epic character. Tell us about
Okay.
you.
Hey, chat. I'm actually just a character. My name is Squid. You could call me the Squidler.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is just a character. Allegedly.
Oh, this is very mysterious. So I see that the defining quality of the character of Squid is that he is mysterious, perhaps even genre breaking. I don't even understand how to process Squid.
Yeah, I wouldn't try. I'm pretty complex. I'm very unique and special.
You're unique, special, you're extremely deep. You have these deep, incomprehensible thoughts. And whenever you have them, I don't even understand them. But I just look at you and I feel inspired and I think, look at him over there. He's a ponderer.
Yeah, totally. There's lots of thoughts in my head. It's not always empty.
Okay.
No.
What do you have any more of your preposterous Odette questions?
Oh yeah, I have a lot. So the first question, this is actually coming from my manager, who you may already know. I cannot. I'll stop saying what I was going to say right there, but I do have a few questions from him.
Okay.
So the first question is, and this is coming from him.
Okay.
Are you who you say you are?
I'd like to think that I am. So yes, I'm Odette Balbsy, and I am Odette Balbsy.
Love to hear it. So
Yeah.
we have a second question from him, and it is, are you lying about who you say you are?
I'm not lying about who I say I am. As you can see, I'm extremely trustworthy. If you look into my face, have you ever heard of like phrenology? It's like how you can tell the moral character of someone by analyzing the shape of their face. If you look at me very closely, you can see that I actually have a very honest face. You see?
Oh yeah, I saw that little wink too.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did have another question. It is, why are you lying about who you are saying you are?
I'm not lying. As you can see, I have a very honest demeanor. I strive to tell the truth because I am a moral and conscientious person, Mr. Squid. If that's even your
Hell yeah,
name, if
brother.
that's even your identity, who the hell even are you to come in here and say that I'm a liar, that I'm not who I say I am? Who do you think I am, you charlatan?
Well, I think that's what he's trying to get to. He did tell me also to say, I'm so sorry. He told me to ask those questions, so I just wanted to put that in there.
Wow, your
in case
coaching
I
is
forgot.
good.
Yeah. what was the other thing? Well, let's look at the list. I did want to know, do you have a favorite bug bite?
A favorite? Actually, yes! Coincidentally, I get bitten by mosquitoes quite a lot, and they lump up to the size of golf balls. But my favorite one that I'd ever gotten was on my shin because it was just so large. It was really off-putting, but it was almost the size of a golf ball, and whenever I looked at it, it was just like, I can't believe something like this grew out of my body. I didn't even know YouTube had raids, but thank you, Amanda Splats. It's really kind of you. I think Raimi told me that they did a little bit earlier, but this is new to me. But what's your favorite bug bite?
Mine, it's just a general type of bug bite. It's actually the wolf spider. I don't know if you've ever been bit by one, but it makes you itchy in a stingy kind of way. And the more you scratch it, kind of the better it gets.
Ew.
If you were to then run hot water over it or splash a little isopropyl alcohol in there, it feels... It'll wake your soul up, if you know what I mean. It's nice.
It's a little bit repugnant. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just imagining your pussed up arms and legs covered in all these bug bites, and you scratch at them and you pick them open, so you have all these open sores. Do they ever get infected?
No, I don't let them get infected. That's what the alcohol's for.
But
it's not just the masochism. It's also, you're a scientist. I'm sure.
yeah.
I've heard you do science stuff, so I'm sure you know about snake oils and all that.
What did you say? That I make oils?
No, you know about snake oils. You know snake
Oh
oils.
yeah. Hey, I
From
have a
around.
suggestion actually. After you sanitize your disgusting bug bites, have you ever thought about covering them with Vaseline, because it'll actually keep your skin moist, which will improve its healing, and it'll make it heal a little bit quicker.
No, and I'm gonna argue something with you right there.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's true, because I'll tell you what. I put
What?
salt on it
Ew.
with the 'cause you get a bug bite, you start scratching it, you keep it open, it starts leaking this clear fluid, and it's gross. You know what I mean? So what I do is I'll sanitize it with whatever I have laying around, Fabuloso, Lysol, isopropyl.
Well, Fabuloso actually smells
Ergogen.
fantastic, so you're a bit more cleanly than I initially had you pegged. So actually, I think you do, to some extent, know what you're talking about. I like Fabuloso.
Yeah, I'm a freak. But yeah, then I put salt all over it to clean up what's it called? Discharge or whatever?
Have you ever thought about putting lime on it as well to complement the salt?
No, I don't like citrus.
Why don't you like citrus? You should... Okay, what you have to do whenever you're eating some delicious tacos is you have to take a chunk of lime, and you put salt all over it, and then after you bite the taco, you bite into the lime and the salt, and it's probably horrible for your teeth, but it tastes so good.
I don't know. There's something with like fruit and vegetables. I don't really trust them.
You only like beige stuff, I bet, then, huh?
Yeah, I like stuff that it's like red 40 is a good indicator of quality. I think the government has our best interests at heart. I just want to say that.
You think so?
When they allow these multi-conglomerate, giant multi-conglomerate, multinational, psychopathic corporations to like feed us this like slop, I think they're doing it for the good of man. And I think all these vegetables and these fruits, do you really need them? Like that could be going to a starving child in Africa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they could, because you know how quickly bananas go bad. By the time we get it all the way to Africa, it's going to be yucky, and they're going to be like, oh, I don't want this nasty, rotten banana. All it's doing is attracting fruit flies. So I think you need to, like, become a little bit more conscientious, because you're not thinking globally. You're thinking in terms of, oh, yeah, I can go give my neighbor a banana. But whenever it has to be transported that far, it causes more harm than good, you know?
No, that's what I want. I mean, like, you could freeze a bananas and then bring it over there, and you're making banana bread. Have you ever had real banana bread with, like, actual bananas in it? Like, you let them go a little too long.
What's the alternative to banana bread without bananas in it? That's the defining quality. I don't know what you mean. All banana bread I've had is real banana bread, because what else would it be? Then it wouldn't be banana bread if there's no bananas in it. What the hell are you talking about, kiddo?
What do you think is in those boxes at the store that they sell at the stores? Where they sell banana box? I mean the box, the banana box mix.
I've never actually had that, and it might sound maybe as though I'm fibbing because I've had other boxed things, boxed cakes, boxed brownies, but never boxed banana bread. Because banana bread is one of the most straightforward things to make. I've never bothered. That's fascinating, actually. I guess it just
You're
has.
just making it raw yourself.
Yeah. Well,
You trust yourself to do that?
What'd you say?
You trust yourself to just
I
do
do.
that?
Well, see, because like banana bread batter tastes really good. It tastes like banana bread pudding. I mean, yeah, banana pudding. And so, whenever I make banana bread, I eat a whole bunch of the batter, and eventually I'll probably perish from it because you're not supposed to eat that raw flour. But I will at least have died like flying close to the sun, as though I am.
I don't think it's the heavily processed flour. I think it's the unprocessed bananas that that's your greatest risk.
Wait.
I did specifically want to know,
What?
do you clean your feet in the shower? Like, do you manually clean your feet? Or are you one of those people that just says, I let the water wash over them? Those kind of people?
Surprisingly, I actually am a foot scrubber because I wasn't always. I used to be a water washer when I was younger, but then I realized the error with that, and so I started
Your feet
actually.
smell bad?
No, that wasn't necessarily. Well, see, actually, I'm not sure that I've observed a difference between the two, but it feels good. The only trouble is that whenever you're lifting your foot up into the air to look at it, sometimes it's kind of slippery, and so a few times I've fallen down and, like, gotten bruised up from hitting the side of the tub. But, will I stop? No, it just seems like something that you're supposed to. What? No, I started.
It's like wildly irresponsible.
How is that irresponsible?
What if you slip in the bathtub and crack your head? Who's going to pick you up?
I guess the emergency services, but we all have to die at some point.
Call them? Who's going to call them?
I don't know. Eventually,
The magic genie that lives in your phone that knows you're in trouble, buddy?
I'll be dead, so I'll just be fed on it. Eventually, like, the smell will permeate from my apartment, and somebody will call somebody, or the blood will drip through the ceiling onto the neighbors, and it'll sort itself out. The problem with you is that you're a bit of a pessimist. You seem to think that you have to do all of these operations.
Yeah, I just want to be covered, you know what I mean? Just in case, but that's like, I mean, it's your feet. Of course you should clean them. Of course you should make sure that they don't smell good, but doing crazy little footsie stuff in the bathtub, I'm not about all that. If I slip and I fall and I break my back or I hit my head, who's going to take care of my kids, you know what I mean? It's not going to be my ex-wife Karen. It's not going to be her, I guess you could call him her new partner, Paul. I mean, he can't even take care of himself, so
Okay.
I'm not taking those risks. I'm not. I know. There's obviously something going on with me and Karen, but it's a divorce. What do you expect?
Well then, okay, if you're such a wise guy, if you're so much better than Paul, so much better than Karen, then how do you do this without slipping? If you don't have to bring your foot up to your face to look at it, do you just crouch down? Because that's a slipping hazard as well. What do you do? Do you have those special wet shoes so that you can attach your little feet to the sides of the tub? How do you go about doing this?
Yeah, I get out of the bathtub.
What?
I get myself one of those little bins. It's what's the color? It's mauve, right? It looks like I stole it from an emergency room or maybe like an elderly person's home. And then I put my feet in there.
Hmm?
I have this salt. It's lavender scented salt.
Oh, that's
and I'll
lovely.
soak my feet in there. What?
I said that's lovely.
Yeah. And you just let your feet soak in there, and one, your feet smell good. Two, you're not doing gymnastics in the tub, cracking your head, dying, leaving your kids, to some douchebag named Paul who thinks, "Oh, I bought a 2007 Corvette, guys. I'm the greatest guy on the block." Paul, nobody cares about your Corvette.
That's kind of cool.
My parent is busted. Don't. Okay. Yeah, sure. Go. You can go there with that.
Corvettes are kind of cool. Like Prince has a whole song about Corvettes, so there has to be some appeal,
No, I don't believe so.
I have a question actually for you.
Yeah.
If you please.
Yeah, of course.
So lavender, from what I understand about Greece and other areas in the Mediterranean is that they like their herbs. So do you think that you like to soak yourself in herbs such as lavender because of your Greek heritage?
That's a little bit racist and stereotypical.
Well, then what? Explain the herbs then.
Yeah, we do love herbs, but
You think that's
I mean,
unrelated, though?
totally unrelated. I mean, did my parents teach me to do that? Yes. Was it passed down to them from people who came before them, like their parents or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it mean that it's some sort of destiny? No.
Wait, after you
I think
shower...
they spent like, what?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask if after your shower, do you like to slather yourselves with various forms of olive oil, and you perhaps like to mince some garlic and rub it into your skin as an exfoliation technique, and perhaps you might also take some parsley and you sprinkle that into your hair to keep it looking nice.
Parsley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's Italian. Olive oil, I will actually break character and tell you something very, 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 very honest. Ready?
Okay.
When you're younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your Greek kid, when you go and get baptized, do you know what they baptize you in?
Is it olive oil?
It is extra virgin olive oil, literally from Greece, and it
Whoa.
is so green.
Is
Sorry,
it
keep
delicious?
swearing.
It's
Yeah, it
fine.
was
You can
delicious.
swear it. Just because I don't doesn't mean that you can. We've already talked about this.
But yeah, after you're baptized, you're all greasy and stuff. They don't give you a shower, and then you have to like go to a little party after, and you're feeling all gross.
So, okay, so regarding the super green, high quality extra virgin olive oil with like the babies in it or whatever, so what do they do? Is it like designated oil just for the baptisms, or do people also eat the nasty oil that people have been dipped into?
Oh no, so check this, ready?
Yeah.
You, as a human being, separate from the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go get this olive oil for yourself. And then afterwards, oh, by the way, we did it in the little kiddie pool, like you have to blow it up.
Yeah.
Afterwards, the priests go and dispose of it, which means pouring it down the drain, like the actual city, like, sewer drain out front of the church.
But it's like a sacred drain, so only the priest can actually pour it. That's fascinating.
Sure, I mean, it literally says, don't dump here, this goes directly to the river. There's like a fish symbol, but yeah.
Wow, they can break the rules if they're doing it for their holy purposes, I suppose. So, do you think that this olive oil baptism made you into the lad that you are today?
No, I think an excruciating amount of trauma actually did that.
Ooh.
Yeah, like recurring trauma, like
Such as?
too much of it. The point where, you know, you're kind of like, maybe God hates me.
Maybe
And I
God
think
does
that's
too.
how I became the person I am.
Do you think that this has happened because you have like karmic debt or anything, or no?
I've considered it, but and I'll be totally honest with you, I think it's more so just, like not ego, what's that other fucking word where it's like, someone's too bold, they're too up their own ass, they think they're, a little too smart.
Are you conceited?
Not conceited, it's more so just that, like, even though I know I'm a dumbass, I'm just like, fuck it, I got this. If I fuck up, that's on
Oh,
me.
you're
Even
overly
though I know
self-assured?
the right. Yeah, no, because
No.
that's the thing. Even though I know I'm gonna fail, I'm just like, no, I'm gonna do me, and I just fuck it. Yeah, hubris. I'm a dumbass. I'm gonna be honest.
Are you super dumb though? Like, how dumb are you? Can you explain some of your dumb behaviors?
No, like I'm really intelligent, but like in terms of hubris or in terms of like, how would you anger? Like I'm pretty quick to anger. I'm pretty.
Are you?
Oh yes, actually I am. I say that, but I know it's not true. But I'm still gonna say it.
So
Quick to anger.
essentially, you just say whatever, and you're not following any train of thought, or you're following a train of thought, but you're not following any pattern of logic. You're just saying whatever sounds, whatever your brain clicks on at a given point. So there's no cohesion here. I can't take anything you say at face value. The olive oil thing could even be a lie.
You can no. Everything I'm saying is true. The worst part is just that it's it's a conflict between what I want to be and what is, and then, you know, all the lovely side effects of that.
Alright, so regarding the anger, is that what you want to be? Do you wish to be more, I guess, proactive in your anger, or do you wish that you weren't angry?
Neither. I think that when I'm angry at this point, it's for a good reason. And while I used to think that anger is always a bad thing, I do realize now as an adult that anger definitely has a time and a place. It's not just an emotion that you should write off. I think there is a lot to learn from what makes you angry.
And so, if you don't mind me asking, when was the last time that you were absolutely positively steamed, that you were furious?
Like rip-roaringly mad?
Yeah, like steam coming out of your ears, angry cow mad.
I want to say like probably 4 or 5 years.
Ooh, that's actually quite a long time to have gone with that without extreme anger. I guess you have a very even temperament now, or there's no outside stimuli that is forcing the extreme anger.
No, because I run into shit I don't want to deal with. That is other people's stuff that they just don't want to deal with quite frequently. So it's not that there's no stimuli. It's more so just that you get tired being angry after a while. You're just like, you know what? Not worth it.
I see, so it's just more so that you've mellowed out. And also, pardon me for 1 second, I'm going to take a drink of my water. Okay. Are you staying hydrated, youngster? Do you have your own water bottle that you're perpetually sipping on?
Yeah, could you hear it?
No, I actually couldn't.
Okay, I have a huge water bottle that I carry everywhere.
Do you carry just one of those plastic disposable jugs, or do you have like a dedicated bottle?
Yeah, I have a Hydro Flask that I keep with me. I think it's 64 ounces.
That's pretty big, actually. So do you have a bunch of distinctive stickers on it to make it customizable so that it appeals to you and that it reflects your true personality and everybody gets to see your quirky little interests?
No, I don't do that with stuff because I don't like getting attached to stuff.
Oh, why is that?
Let's move away from that because you keep making me break character. I don't like how honest you're making me be.
Okay.
So I did want to have some questions of mine answers.
Go ahead.
This is an important one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one definitely. Slash me. Wait, let me see this one. Yep. Slaps your balls.
That's not a question.
Thoughts?
Wait, what?
Thoughts?
A little bit rude, but I'm tolerant. I've learned a lot from you, actually, and that you can't be angry. You have to be forgiving. So I have no anger towards you. It's a natural impulse, and you acted upon it, and I respect you all the more for it. What?
That's not true. I didn't teach you that.
You did.
Being angry is good.
No.
Yes. If you walk away with anything from this conversation, be angry.
Okay.
I want you to know.
I'm gonna freaking kill you.
And the next time someone looks at you funny, what you need to do is take your thumbs.
Take my thumbs.
Wrap all of your fingers, right, into a fist, except your thumbs. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna stab both your thumbs into their eyes at the same time, as hard as you can, okay?
But then my hands are gonna get all dirty and they're gonna get all stinky and be covered with juicy, nasty eye goo. I'd rather not. What if I just grab their ears and then I rip them off? I don't even have to use my teeth because I'm not like Mike Tyson. I'm a mouse. I can just rip them off with my mouse fingers because they know of mouse things.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, you know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks or whatever.
Wait, have you ever seen the show Different Strokes where the same song goes, "The world doesn't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you might not be right for some."
Let me look. No, that 1978?
Yeah.
That's like for like really, really, really old people.
Or people that had access to like public television where they only re-air, extremely old shows.
Public television, another boomer thing. I'm not trying to say that you're a boomer or anything.
Yeah, you are.
Definitely wouldn't know better.
It's okay. I certainly am a boomer. I am like 57 years old actually, and that's okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
yeah.
tell you though, I have followed you for quite some time, but I usually just lurk. So
Oh, well, let's see. This is
I
why
miss
you
you
didn't get
back.
all of this insight.
Wait, what insight from you?
Yeah, because you were lurking, you weren't able to get any of my insight because I was not allowed to or I didn't have the opportunity to give you feedback on your innermost thoughts and your bug bites and everything. Whereas now I have more of an identity to attach to you, Squid. You're not just an ESL person. You have a heart too, and you have your own
Oh,
feelings.
yeah. I did have another question. Why are you a freak? This is not my question. It was from somebody else, an unnamed party.
Okay, who's asking this?
I believe it was. Let me look at the chat. Let's see who I can blame. We'll go with RROAJ. Sent
Whoa.
that to me in a DM. So
Why am I a freak? Well, it's not really my fault. I am part mouse, I'm part human. These things are contrasting traits and they're always fighting each other, which leads to unrest and delirium. And so because I am neither mouse nor woman entirely, I, I'm just always in a state of turmoil and conflict, and so I can never present myself in a non-freak way. This is why I am a freak.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Would you rather have a fish friend or a frog friend?
Frog, that's easy. Fish are lame.
Okay, would you slap a fish
It depends
on
on
the
the fish,
flag?
because I respect the nature of the fish. But if it was like an ugly fish, I would slap it. But if it was a beautiful fish, like a red snapper, I'd probably gently pet it.
It's an alligator gar.
I don't know what they look like. Can you describe the alligator gar? Why do you know these obscure fish? Are you like a fisherman or something?
I used to. Oh, well,
Whoa.
yeah, sure. Nothing. An alligator gar is like a normal gar, except it has like a long snout and it's full of teeth, and it
Well, let me
makes
stop you right.
people disappear in rivers sometimes, and then people think it's like a bull shark, but it's not. It's just an alligator gar.
Do you expect me to have a perception of what a normal gar is? Let me just go ahead and Google this because you're just saying things and I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So I'm gonna Google the alligator gar, and let's get an impression.
Let's get
Whoa!
it together. Do you see that thing?
That is disgusting. Well, he's disgusting, but he's also beautiful. It's a very fascinating fish. Actually, I would say it's even more beautiful than disgusting. Look at its coloration and the beautiful spots that are on it and its amazing teeth. That's a remarkable beast, actually.
Yeah, it's like a leftover from like the before times.
It definitely has a prehistoric vibe. Oh, do you remember that Ice Age movie that came out where I think it's the one where the mammoth guy gets a girlfriend, but they had these dinosaur fish that are melting and defrosting, and they're like the antagonists of the movie?
No. Well, I mean, I have seen it, but I wasn't really there. It was just like,
Oh. You were just a passerby for the. Well, the point is that I was terrified of those fish, and I was kind of young, but I wasn't even so young that I should have been terrified of the fish. But they were so horrible to me. Like whenever I saw them, I got like nightmares from those dinosaur fish. But nonetheless, I'm over this aversion, and I can respect the beauty of the alligator gar now, I suppose.
okay. My manager did send one more question. It is a
Okay,
little rude.
go ahead.
Okay, so why is a lesbian such as yourself so obsessed with ween? And he put the parentheses, and he did ER in the parentheses, so it's like wiener.
We.
And I'll post it in chat so you can see it.
Okay, go ahead. I know what you mean, but I'm not a lesbian. I understand that many people think that. Even in real life, everybody just it has like this collective consciousness and acceptance that I am a lesbian and refers to me as a lesbian and tells everybody else that I'm a lesbian. And so I'm canonically a lesbian, but I'm not a lesbian. Well, not fully. I'm just I think it's just I don't really understand why people have the perception that this is just a fact. But nevertheless, I'm not a lesbian. But if I was, I don't think that would diminish my ability to enjoy a ween because there's lots of ween lesbians out there.
Wiener.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
regardless.
You know who my manager is?
No, I don't know who your manager is.
Okay. Let me check if he's even still in the chat.
Is-
Oh no, I don't. I'm not sure if he is. I wouldn't want to dox him anyway.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you though? Just dox your manager. I want to know who the manager is.
I can't do that. He would be upset.
Why would I be upset?
Wait, let me ask him. Let me ask him.
Okay, who is your manager? Is your manager Raimi Ricotta?
No. I'll be honest. I don't think Raimi likes me very much. I think she thinks I'm annoying.
Well, maybe you are, but it's all right. You accept your nature, and you accept that you're annoying, and that you're a little bit of I don't know.
Go on.
No. I'm not gonna call you annoying. That's disrespectful. I don't think you're annoying. You're okay, I guess. I guess a little annoying,
get?
but that's fine. Yeah, like a
As-
bit annoying.
As intelligent and wise as you are, I didn't think you would need to guess.
Look, that's why I'm wise, is because I know that I am unknowing. I can accept my lack of knowledge in some areas. Now, Squid, do you have any parting thoughts to impart upon us?
Oh, she's kicking me out, guys. It's because I called her a lesbian.
No, it's because you've been here
Just,
30
I want
minutes.
you guys to know it's because I told you guys she was a lesbian.
It's not offensive to
I
be
just
called a
want you guys to
lesbian.
know
It's a compliment to be
kicks me out.
perceived
And
as
by
a
the way,
lesbian. Right.
Intermittently, she's been muting herself and saying curses at me.
That is
Hebrew or
true.
something, I don't believe.
Extremely.
Yeah, do I have any
disrespectful
closing
things.
words? Yeah,
Yeah.
let me see something. No, it's not like that. I'm so sorry, buddy. JK. I thought you were really wise, though. Question mark? Let's move on. China won't like this one.
What are you even talking about now? I'm just
Do
confused.
you want me to sing you a poem or something real quick?
If you have one memorized, by all means, go
Let
ahead.
me do it. Fish friend or a frog friend, would you slip a fish? Admit slapping a fish. Say bed, will slap my balls and call me Henry.
Henry.
So if that's all, thank you guys. Thanks chat for chatting in. Thanks Odette for
Thank you.
being your freaky little self. Keep doing you. Stay beautiful and
All right.
welcome to Vietnam.
Thank you. They say I've got a number, and that number's 50,000, and that's 10% of 500,000. Now, my friends, before our next guest comes on, we will get onwards and upwards with our tunes. What I don't remember. Oh,
I guess it's something in my brain. I need whiskey to ease the pain. But it's early in the morning, and I'm feeling bad again. But if you ever love me, you'll go easy on me now. Fix me up a cup of coffee, and in a while I'll come around. I think I'll spend the dog food money, but it'll love me just the same. And if you really love me, baby, help me scrape the mucus off my brain. It's a shame when morning hurts. Well, I've seen bad and I've seen worse. It's the nature of my being. I took some money from your purse, and that Frenchman loves to party, and I know he's not to blame. But the way you're looking at me, baby, I just can't help but feel ashamed. I think I'll spend the dog food money, but it'll love me just the same. She makes me so unsure of myself, standing there but never ever talking sense. Just a visitor, you see, so much wanting to be seen. She'd open up the doors and vaguely carry us away. It's the customary thing to say or do to a disappointed proud man in his grief. And on Fridays she'd be there, but on Mondays not at all, just casually appearing from the clock across the hall. Here it goes, la 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 la. Here it goes, la 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 la. And the church shall not come to claim you with my iron drum, la 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 la. The continent's just fallen in disgrace. William Rogers put it in its place. Blood and tears from old Japan, caravans and lots of jam. The maids of honor singing, crying, singing tediously. Here it goes, la 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 la. Yes, here it goes, la 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 la. I'm the bishop and I come to claim you with my iron drum, la 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 la. Efficiency, they say. Get to know the date and tell the time of day. As the crowds begin complaining how the Beaujolais is raining down in darkened meetings on the Champs-Elysees. Here it goes, la 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 la. Here it goes, la 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 la. And I'm the church and I come to claim you with my iron drum, la 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 la. Here it goes, la 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 la. Here it goes, la 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 la. I'm the church and I've come to claim you with my iron drum, la 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 la. Here it goes, la 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 la. Here it goes, la 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 la. I'm the church and I've come to claim you with my iron drum, la 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 la.
Okay, I'm going to choose Tatters because you haven't had a turn yet. Now, Tatters, I really hope that you don't disappoint me. I'm a little bit afraid that you're going to, and I guess that's a bit mean to say, but let's just hope for the best. And you're on thin ice, Tatters, but all right, we're putting in Tatters. All right. I await your joining. If I had a tiny Jesus, I'd probably chew on him, honestly. And I don't know if that's sacrilege. I liked whenever Oral from Moral Oral made stop motion films with his tiny Jesus, but that's not what I would have done. All right, no. I'm just. No, I hope he doesn't leave the stream in tatters. I hope that he's a kind and amicable guest. I'm a little nervous, admittedly, but let's see. Tatters? Are you ready, Tatters? Did you get nervous? Or are you not going to be able to present yourself? Because you were hyped up. You awaited your turn, and yet whenever we needed you most. What do you mean? Oh gosh, come on, Tatters, come on. Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Odette. I'm Tatters. Wow.
Hi, Tatters.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, I just have a series of questions, and
Oh my. Okay.
depending on how you answer, it might be several or it might just be a couple. So,
Okay, it's an exam.
I just wanted to ask first off, you're aware that the bulb C mouse it's definitely the most inbred creature on God's earth.
I know. I'm aware of
Yeah.
this due to the nature of cultivating them. Yeah.
So you chose an inbred. You chose an inbred creature. Okay.
Well, to
All
be
right.
fair,
I mean,
it's a melding.
you said it earlier, to each their own, didn't you? I mean,
Well, I don't think I
different
said
strokes
that.
for different
But
folks.
they did sing different strokes theme song. But you have to consider that I'm not only mouse, I'm also human. So the mixing of the two species counteracts the inbreeding. Actually,
Oh, okay. Must be a fan of dogs.
No!
Which leads me to my other question. What's your cat's name?
what? Why? You're gonna dox the cat. I'm not gonna.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Let me, is that mean?
What?
Is that a thing now? Like, I'm not,
To dox cats?
I don't want to dox you. Like, dox? Is that a thing? Like, somebody doxed my
Oh,
dog.
what if he's a
I was
very
just
famous
curious,
cat?
Well, that's true, but, I mean, is it a famous cat? She? A famous cat?
I can't tell you. It could be. So I cannot reveal the sensitive information about who my cat is.
Okay, that's fine. What kind of cat is it, though?
That's also very private. Why are you asking all these invasive questions about my cat?
I'll stay away from that.
Yeah.
I just really like cats.
Oh, well, okay. I'll tell you about them now that I know that you like them, and you said it really nicely. One is an obese, fat cat with short hair that has white and gray fur, and he's super cute. And the other cat is a small little cat with long, fluffy hair that's gray, and she's also super cute. And they're very sweet, and they're good, and they're well behaved, and they know tricks. And the fat one, since he's so food motivated, he knows a lot of tricks. Actually, he can sit, he can shake, he can stand up. He's very impressive, isn't he?
That's pretty cool. Is the smaller one just a younger cat?
No, they're from the same litter.
And
She's actually the firstborn.
Oh,
But
she's the runt. Okay.
No, she wasn't the runt. There was another cat in the litter that I no longer have, unfortunately. That she was the runt of the litter. But this cat, she just wound up being the smallest growing up. But she's not food motivated generally, so she won't learn tricks. But she's a lot smarter than the other cat in terms of problem solving.
See,
Mhm.
I've got a corgi, and he was the runt of the litter, and he's not food motivated at all. Like, he barely weighs 20 pounds, which is really small for a corgi.
Ooh.
But he's smart, but he's more play motivated. So, like, he'll go kill rabbits and kill animals and shit. He's happy with that, but it's kind of tough when they're not food motivated, because that's just so easy for positive reinforcement. Because you can just have a whole pocket full of treats and they'll do anything. But if they don't give a fuck, they don't give a fuck.
So are you saying that he's a
Okay.
poorly trained dog that just like pees everywhere and humps your furniture?
Oh, no, not at all. He doesn't do anything like
Oh,
that.
good,
Fuck
good.
no, I would not tolerate that shit. I'm one of those people.
Are you though? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Onward with your next question. We've established that you're allegedly a cleanly dog owner, not a nasty one.
Yeah, he's very clean. He's cleaner than probably most people. Like, I don't know how his coat is very, very clean.
Okay.
Let me look at my boomer paper here.
Your spreadsheet, your Excel spreadsheet of your talking points.
Yes, yes.
You know,
Are you a fan of Ursula K. Le Guin?
Ursula K. Le Guin. I have no clue who Ursula K. Le Guin is.
Earthsea? She wrote the Earthsea series.
Oh, I've
I
heard
think
of
it was
it.
a big anime too.
But no, I've never read those books. Are they good?
That's, up to the... She's a good writer. She's good at writing. The material's a little... She really reminds me a lot of, Stephen King. A lot of self-insert shit.
Oh, okay.
Are you a fan of Homestuck?
Yes, I was really big into Homestuck, especially in middle school in particular. I got one of the official Homestuck
Okay.
shirts with my favorite character's little zodiac sign and their color, and I won't say who, but yeah, I was really into Homestuck when I was young.
Okay, well, that does it for the interview. I just gotta write this down.
Oh, okay, so...
Lesbian. Okay,
I'm not-
all right. You did so well. That was a really good short interview. I don't want to take any more of your time.
See,
But
I
I
just
look
did
forward to the next call-in, okay?
yeah, okay. Nice to meet you, Taters. Thank you for your time. But I'm not a lesbian. What? It doesn't matter. Okay, can a woman just wear cargo shorts just because she wants to? Can't she use a carabiner because it's convenient? Jesus. Alright, let's carry onwards with our tunes in preparation for the next caller, who I believe is our repeat, Bunny, our first repeat of the night.
I was happy in the haze of a drunken hour, but heaven knows I'm miserable now. I was looking for a job and then I found a job, and heaven knows I'm miserable now. In my life, why do I give valuable time to people who don't care if I entwined, pass me by, and heaven knows I'm miserable now. I was looking for a job and then I found a job, and heaven knows I'm miserable now. In my life, oh why do I give valuable time to people who don't care if I of me at the end of the day. Caligula
miserable now. Oh, you've been in the house too long, she said, and I naturally fled. In my life, oh, why do I give valuable time to people who don't care if I had tried?
Alright, Bunny. Alright, Bunny, are you mentally prepared to jump back in? Now I'm starting to get just the slightest bit tired. But I'm gonna put you in, kid. I'm putting you in. Coach is adding you in now. So, Addie's Bunny, and join whenever you are ready, my child.
Hi.
You jump scared me. Oh my gosh! I mean, I told you to join, but you did it
Yeah,
so
you did.
efficiently that I got startled.
Well, I guess the shoe's on the other foot now.
Did I
Because now I'm awake and you're tired.
That's true. Did you sleep during this stream so that you could recharge? Or no, you said you drank some coffee.
No, I just drank a bunch of energy, and I played rabbit and steel and got my ass kicked every time.
And this was exhilarating enough to wake you back up.
Pure spite keeps me going.
Spite towards who? Towards me?
Towards Ravensteel. After
Okay,
we're done
thank God.
talking, I'm going back to win. Spoiler alert, I'm not.
You're not going to. You don't have that dog in you, but that's whatever. Don't worry.
But yeah. So what do you want to talk about, Miss Balpsy?
What do you want to talk about? You're the one who decided to join and be in my
Okay.
company today. So let's let you lead this discussion, Bunny. Tell us about your true nature.
My true nature?
Mhm.
Well, I have questions, I guess, and they're not going to be of the interview type. There's no final answer where you're a lesbian.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So, what made you want to VTube?
Nothing in particular. I just 3 years ago or so, I was in a Discord with these furries, and mind you, I wasn't a furry. It was actually a furry Discord of the inappropriate nature, which isn't my interest, mind you. But I was used to post on Twitter, and I used to post orangutans. And this person told me, hey, if you join this Discord server, we're all monkey enthusiasts too. And so I joined, and then I got bamboozled, and it was like a pornography Discord, and half of it was furry stuff, and I was like, Jesus, you lied to me. But I was in there for a while, and I wound up becoming acquainted with these people, and eventually they all got into VTubers because Hollow was really cool right now, and they were posting clips of like Korone and Guara. And I was watching them, and I was like, this is pretty interesting. And so then I started watching more VTubers. Like, I liked Hachima and Ihimemori Luna. And as that interest expanded, I saw this other VTuber. His name, he's a Japanese person, but named Kano-san. And he has this really crudely made MS Paint model. And so I thought, I could do that. And so I did that initially because I don't know if you were here in my earliest days. I don't believe that you were, but I used to have this really crudely drawn model that I'd rigged to myself because I was inspired by Kano-san. And that's why I just thought that it looked fun, and I thought that I would be able to do it, and yeah, I do it on and off, I guess.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, more recently, I've kind of liked the VTubing stuff just because I've had a lot of friends who've shown me different types of people.
Yeah.
And I've always, like, had the idea that all the VTubers were, like, kind of like corporate idols, and it always felt really weird.
Ah, so the corporate model doesn't really appeal to you.
Well, not necessarily corporate, because I'm actually friends with a couple of corporate VTubers.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that the whole, like, Japanese idol kind of thing had with like super parasocial fans, and just like they were really weird to me.
It was
and
just,
so I was also just not a fan.
Yeah, because I guess in the early days there was more of a narrow box of what a VTuber ought to be in. Perhaps that narrow mold just wasn't what appealed to you. And now that there's more, I guess, diversity of content and of personalities with VTubers, it's easier to find ones that one would resonate with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, because I used to stream on Justin TV when I was in like high school, and I remember seeing like the earliest stuff of like I forget her name. Is it Kazuna Ai?
Yeah.
And like everyone I knew who liked them were weird, and I just associated that with weird people.
Are you not weird, Bunny?
Well, I mean, like, you know, there's a good weird and a bad weird.
And so we are to assume that you are apparently the good weird.
Well, I like to think I'm relatively normal, but if someone calls me weird, I just assume they mean the good one now.
I have a question. So I'm looking at your name on Discord, and it's Chaser Rabbit. So
yeah,
are you a VTuber? It says VT there.
It does. I got bullied into starting. I haven't really started yet.
But you're going to give it a try in a little while. Interesting.
Yeah, so so I was trying to think of the events, and then I realized nobody knows these people, and it doesn't matter if I don't get them exactly right. So I wanted to start streaming again because I really like doing it, and a lot of my friends kind of like pushed me to do it in a different group. And I started on an alt account, and I had a couple of views, and I liked it. But then I kind of ran into the thing of if I wanted to continue doing it, what style do I want to do, what niche? And I found someone on Twitch named Shindex, And Shindigs was the person who made me think, wow, these people can do anything. I don't know if you've seen his content, but
I've seen a few of his streams.
yeah, he's super interactive. You know, he has like TTS models where you can talk to him and mess up his game and fuck with them. And it really, you know, like culture shocked me a bit that like these are just normal streamers with virtual avatars at this point. It's not like, you know, I guess it's more mainstream now. It was a lot different a long time ago. So I felt like I was an old man climbing from out under the rock.
And so now that there's not like the pretense of like idol culture, you can enjoy it more, and now you can see yourself doing it because you realize it's just another way to, I guess, express your creativity and put yourself out there into the world.
Yeah, and I have a, so the first time I was talking, I was super tired. I was doing a bit of like avoiding talking about my career.
Okay.
Because, and I drew a line I can talk about. I know what I can talk about. Because I'm a really young hire into a big company with corporate. I've been with them as lower roles for like almost 10 years now. And I'm going on my second, third year of being with this corporate team. And like, you know, when you get, all my coworkers are 50, 60 years old, super tenured. A lot of days I feel like I got lucky and I'm just getting paid a lot of money to do things that I don't understand well. So I'm kind of like really protective of that job. And so the VTuber stuff with privacy was super nice.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Because since your job is so important, you don't want to compromise it even a little bit. And so now that's your reason for choosing the VTuber model mascot rather than just, I guess, your face or whatever.
Yeah, because I'm licensed in almost half of the United states as governments individually. I have access to almost, I mean, I don't know the exact number, but anyone who's ever signed up with us for, sorry, that's my dog.
That's okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Go ahead. Jeez, Bonnie's coming in here and bragging about being a government official, and they're gonna kill us all.
No, I'm not government. It's scary because we're actually regulated by them, so everything I do needs to be okay with them, you know?
Oh my. Interesting.
Yeah, so, but it's in one of the major entertainment industries with hotels and casinos, and a lot of people who sign up with us have a lot of really in-depth personal information. And so I kind of came to the conclusion that, like, hey, if I'm on a video game screaming something that's going to be taken crazy out of context, maybe I don't want the chance ever of my job associating my face with these things.
Fair enough. And so it's because you take your job so seriously, that's the appeal. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, I love being antisocial, and so I was like adopted by introverts when I lived in my last part of my job in another state. And when I came to my new state, working under this new role, I bought a house and I live here by myself. I pay for it all by myself, and it's a nice, quiet life, and it's nice to be able to kind of like interact with other people and get to know people without needing to, I guess, compromise things that I like.
Yeah, it'll help you have exactly the balance of life that you want out of it. I get where you're coming from regarding the VTuber thing and your own personal security.
Yeah.
Your stakes are just higher than a lot of people's.
Yeah. And I used to think that, like, man, I worked like a year and a half in this role too without really realizing like how badly I could compromise my company if I'm not careful. Because it's just like I forget my laptop and it's unlocked in a coffee shop, and it could be bad.
They're gonna send the mafia after you if you jack it up, you know. They're gonna have your head, and they're probably not even just gonna take your head. They're gonna torture you too, just to make an impression, to show the next little young hire, like what the consequences of these actions are. Don't you think?
So I wouldn't put it against them, but that reminds me of something really funny. So a lot of the people who work in our company are native because it's in the entertainment industry, and a lot of the higher ups are native because that's just kind of a thing culturally they've done with business.
Yeah, you're a Las Vegas casino boy. Makes sense.
If I lived there, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Nevada is very much state-owned. A lot of it is state-owned when it comes to properties. And so that means that natives don't actually have a really big claim in Nevada.
Interesting. So perhaps you're New Mexico. Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's rude to speculate because you just stressed the
I
importance.
play this game with other people, and they'll say a state, and I go no, and they'll ask another state, and I'll be like, because there's only so many.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was a native GM we had, which is like a general manager. He's like the big guy. He's like the president of a place. And I've been working there so long, I didn't realize he was a manager, or like the general manager. And something bad happened, and I kind of like nudged him, and I was like, man, almost like this place is built on an Indian burial ground. And he belly laughed. He belly laughed so hard. And then that was like my second year in the job, like 2017, 2018, 2019 maybe. And then I learned later that he was like the president. And I was like, oh my god, I just gambled my job on a really bad joke.
But it worked out, and so it's all that. I guess that goes to show that like a bold strategy is what works in life.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky and you're dumb, and sometimes you make decisions that are calculated. That was not one.
But it worked out for you. Well, sometimes there's these people and they're very professional, but they'll wind up being, I guess, cooler than you thought. Like the other day, I was at this conference with my professors and some of my peers. And after it, they wanted to go to the mall in the city that the conference was in just to look around. And then I wound up walking off with the biology professor, who I'm not a biology student. I don't take any biology classes, but I was walking with her and chatting with her. And she bought a bong for her husband while I was with her. And I was like, I just never expected like a professor to do that. And it was pretty neat. And then we were talking about the movies, and apparently she loves what's that ugly little doll, Chucky? She loves the Child's Play films, and she's seen Frankenhooker, and I was just like, wow, yeah, you have a lot more to you than I thought initially, Professor. You're not just a stuffy professor. You're pretty neat. And so
yeah, Frankenhooker is crazy.
Yeah, have you seen Frankenhooker?
Yeah, it's like
really
an
good,
old
isn't
VHS
it?
movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's one of those movies that are so bad that they're good for me.
I just think that it's good because I mean I know that it's being campy, but it's so preposterous that it has me entertained. And the Frankenhooker herself, I love her costuming. It's very simple, but it's effective. Just the stitches, the purple wig, her crazy expressions. It's a good little flick, I say.
It kind of falls under the same archetype that I put like killer clowns from outer space in.
Just campy, wacky horror with ridiculous special effects. Wait, I have a question for you. What do you think about Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
Well, what should I think about him? I think he's cool.
I think it's a novel film. I never read his comics, but I actually do enjoy the movie, even if it's extremely dumb. That's what's enjoyable about it. And the duck puppet is actually pretty cool looking. And I like the part where he's in the bar and he's trying to get his girl out of the contract, and he beats up the contractors, and it's so ridiculous because he's like 2 feet tall, but whatever.
Yeah, I think when I was young I had nightmares about this movie. Because this isn't the cartoon, this is like the old one where it's like he's an animatronic almost, right?
Yeah, that's the one that I'm talking about.
I've had nightmares about Howard the Duck.
You thought that Howard the Duck was gonna rough you up like he roughed up those corrupt managers?
I had a problem with things that look human enough but aren't human.
Oh.
It's weird, man, because like then you go to a Spirit Halloween and Howard the Duck takes you into the back rooms and you're done.
I get it. It's Uncanny Valley, and I appreciate that everybody else here is also a Howard the Duck enjoyer. But aside from you, you're the lone fear.
I will be the one anti.
Well, what would you do if you were sitting there and right behind you felt a feathered finger upon your shoulder?
In my house?
In your house, yeah.
Well, I live alone.
Yeah, so that would be especially
no matter
scary.
the circumstance, I would be perturbed.
But you'd be even more perturbed because it's this disgusting duck that you absolutely despise with all of your.
Well, I mean,
what?
You know, I had done a good 20 years without thinking about Howard the Duck. And then you've reminded me about Howard the Duck. Do you have any repressed characters you hate and had dreams about?
I was just scared of Chucky from Child's Play, but that's kind of very obvious, and I was actually scared of a lot of things, but it's hard to recall off the top of my head.
So being scared of Chucky is pretty valid.
Yeah.
He did like stabbing people. What's your number one time Chucky's killed someone? Do you have like a favorite kill of Chucky's?
Well,
Because
see-
there's two of them I can think of.
I'm not a huge like Chucky enthusiast because I was scared of it for so long, and then I think I've seen some of them. I've seen the one where he gets his. I don't think I've seen the first one, but I think I've seen the second and the third one. So I've seen his bride and I've seen his child, but I don't remember it so specifically that I know his specific kills. It's not as though I'm a Chucky enthusiast.
So I never liked Chucky, and I really didn't like him at all. I didn't like the movies. My mom was like a super fan.
Interesting.
But I remember like two very, very vividly scenes because I guess if you don't like something enough, it can imprint on you.
Mhm.
There was a scene where Chucky killed a guy by throwing him into the back of a garbage truck.
Ooh.
And then the garbage truck compacted him, and you can
Yeah.
see like the blood coming out the truck.
Well, how are the
And there-
effects? Because like, was it campy or was it disgusting?
I remember it being kind of gruesome.
Wait.
Because they don't show you him being crushed, but then, like the truck's bleeding and it's like garbage juice and blood.
Was it in the first one or this? I can't
I
remember.
don't remember. And then there was another one where there was like, I don't know if it was like ROTC, like the fake military for kids, and they were having a like a live fire exercise where they're doing a war game, and Chucky swapped all of the fake bullets for real bullets.
Oh, that's crazy.
And they were,
actually.
yeah, and then he even swapped out like the fake grenades for real grenades, and there's a scene where like this scrawny kid jumps on a grenade and just gets like obliterated.
Wait, I have another question. It's a little bit of a tangent, but have you ever seen Naked Lunch?
I want to say no, but there's a lot of things that I don't remember the name of, so I'm gonna look it up. You can explain it to me while I look it up.
Okay, so it's based on the novel by Williams S. Burroughs, but it's a very surrealistic take on it, where there's this addictive substance that all of the writers in New York seem to be addicted to. That's also a pesticide, and the typewriters that these people use are also sentient bugs that have this international conspiracy going on, and so they keep on trying to dictate the life of this fictitious William S. Burroughs, and it's a really good movie. The effects, it's a David Cronenberg film, and so the effects are really disgusting and off-putting, but in the most beautiful way. I think it's worth watching for the visuals alone, but it's absolutely fascinating. I remember the first time I watched it whenever I was too tired, so I unfortunately wound up falling asleep, but the second time, it was probably one of the most immersive things I've ever seen. I was really engrossed in the world. It's intense, So I think you should...
So, I've looked it up.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before.
You gotta
But you
watch
said
it!
David Cronenberg, and that
Yes.
reminded me. And so I googled Crash, and Crash was also done by David Cronenberg. And I
haven't
really
seen
like
Crash.
The Fly, and I really like Crash.
Mhm.
So I think today
Today!
I will set aside some time. Yeah, why not? I have time off today, so
Awesome, man. If
I'd already be at work right now if I didn't have time off.
you're gonna watch Naked Lunch, and I'm gonna watch Crash, and then eventually at some point we'll get together and we'll discuss this. Perhaps the next time I have Odd Hour, and we'll figure out which is the better film.
Yeah.
Not that it's a
And then,
competition.
honestly, though,
Mhm.
I've never really seen David Cronenberg before, and googling him and seeing his soulless stare into my eyes makes the picture that they have is not a great picture, but it also paints kind of a story of the movies he makes. It makes sense. This man I can see with these movies.
I don't know. I remember looking at him and I thought he actually looked relatively normal. Yeah, he just looks normal. He kind of looks like who's that food critic that looks like Jeffrey Epstein, but he's not Jeffrey. Anthony Bourdain. Like he does look like him.
What did Anthony Bourdain do to that food on the island? Good thing he has a ledger of all the meals he's cooked.
Gosh, but look
Oh my
at his
god, he
face.
does look
Doesn't
like
he have
Jeffrey
that same face that they both have?
Oh my god, he's got the face.
He does have
I
the
hope
face.
if I grow up, I don't have an Epstein face.
What if you do? What if? Have you seen
Well,
that
I
picture?
would tell you the first thing I wouldn't do.
What?
I wouldn't touch kids.
Well, thank God. Thank God for that. There's no
Yeah,
Yeah. You're not on the Epstein Express.
it's just so it's so easy to accidentally do it.
Is it though?
No, it's not.
Jesus.
You ever?
Huh.
I don't feel like I'll ever find my way in a situation where I go, oops, I've accidentally touched a kid.
Yeah, it's not exactly easy to fall into. You can see a child and be like, oh my God, get out of here, you child. But wait, have you seen that picture of that person that has like a really detailed tattoo of Anthony Bourdain, but it actually looks like a really detailed tattoo of Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
Oh.
But I can imagine it, and it's really funny.
Yeah. Oh wait, actually that reminds me. One time I was at the airport, and mind you, I'm a little bit dumb about recognizing people. I was genuinely convinced that I saw Dan Schneider, and so I was trying to sneakily follow him around, but then it turned out it was just an obese man with brown hair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I know. So I was just kind of snooping around, but alas, he was an innocent.
He was an innocent.
He was an innocent. Well, he might not have been an innocent, but that's not for me to say because I didn't know who he was. But he wasn't Dan Snyder.
Damn.
What?
That reminds me. So when I used to do one of my earlier roles, I've had like 4 different roles at this job, and one of them used to be being on the crowd and helping with certain things. And this one guy got his card stuck in a machine, and I like got it out and I looked at it, and it said Jake Paul. And I was like, oh, that's a funny name. And I look up, and it's Jake Paul.
It's Jake Paul? That's wild.
Yeah, and he's really tall. Like, I am 5'10". I'm not very tall.
Yeah.
And I had to crank my neck up to look at the guy. I was surprised. I didn't think he was that tall. And so then I gave him his card. He had he had a metal credit card that he was using, and they always have problems getting stuck because they're designed for plastic, and so metal gets stuck pretty easy. And so I got it, and I gave it to him, and I let him know, not to try that, and to go ahead and go to, saw a person who can help him. And then I just said, wow, that's a cool name, it's a unique name. And I just pretended like I didn't know him. And he had 2 friends next to him who got so absurdly mad that there was like a 20-something that had like no fucking clue who he was. I had them like really upset, and I was like, I'm sorry, are you famous?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, is there a movie I can watch that you're in? And one of the guys looked at me and went, don't you know it's every day, bro? And I almost broke my character.
That's so funny.
And I was like I don't know what year that came out, but I feel like saying it in the 2020s is like so cringe.
Yeah, gosh, it's just that, I probably wouldn't be able to recognize Jake Paul. I think I know Logan Paul because he had, like, that yellow Toy Story hats and he went into the Suicide Force, and I remember that controversy.
Oh my god,
but I don't
that
recall
was...
what he is.
Yeah, and people talk about him going into the Suicide Forest, but one thing that people don't talk about as much is, like, I've seen that video just because I wanted, like, if I see something's going on, I kind of want to be involved and understand.
Yeah, you want to check in. You want to understand what's going on.
And I actually was a bit more upset with the other shit he did in that video, because he was, like, getting raw fish and then walking into nice Japanese clothing stores and, like, rubbing the fish on the clothes.
Really?
And then being like, this is fucked up. Like, and then he was, like, trying to be a prankster, but the pranks felt, like, really, really rude for Japan, because they were being so nice to him, and he was just like taking it for granted as hard as possible.
I was actually thinking about this earlier, and this is going to sound extremely weebish, extremely thing but Japanish, but every person that I've met so far that has been from like the country of Japan has been exceptionally nice and polite. And I know it's a stereotype, but that stereotype I have found has been proven true. They are just they're very considerate and very polite. I guess it's a cultural norm to be exceptionally polite, but I really appreciate it. I have not met an unkind or rude Japanese person so far.
So, I think you're completely right. I've actually been abroad in Japan during high school for 2 years. 2 months. I was there for 2 months for abroad kind of thing. And I also got to, before that, I was with transfer students who were in my state from Japan.
Cool.
And I just got like such a cool insight to how they like go through school. Like their schools in Japan, they like their kids in Japan.
Oh gosh, I've seen those footage of like how children cross the street there, and it almost brought a tear to my eye. I think it might have, because it's just so sweet. The whole process of them, how they stand on that line and they lift their hands, and the road comes to a complete stop. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and so that's real. Like that's not like fake for the internet stuff. Like I was there, so I spent a bit of time with a family in Nagoya, and I spent a bit of time with a family in a place called Tsukuba. Tsukuba, no one really knows, but it's easy to tell you that it's just right on the outskirts of Tokyo. Yeah. So it's a big town, but it's not Tokyo. And I actually spent a lot of time with someone from Tsukuba College who was trying to recruit me during the abroad, and he had the most interesting accent I've ever heard in my life. And I'm gonna tell you, like, try to imagine this accent in your head. There's not been a single person in my life who I've met who can imagine this accent in their head. He was full-bred Scottish who could speak fluent Japanese, and he had a Scottish accent.
That's really interesting. And so his Scottish accent came forward whenever he was still speaking Japanese?
You could hear it, yeah, and it was the most unique accent I've ever heard. I loved it. When you hear something, that's probably the nicest voice I've ever heard in my life, is full Scottish accent speaking Japanese. And I can't even replicate it because it's been so long.
I can't even imagine what it would sound like, honestly.
It's magical. I met a fucking unicorn.
That is a unicorn. I think this is a common one to be fond of, but I do enjoy the German accent speaking English, because I actually do like English as a language. I think that it sounds pleasant, which of course I'd be biased to, but I find the German accent to be very pleasant, because it's very monotone and soothing.
As someone who's like super logical, when it comes to certain things, I appreciate Germany's specificness with words.
Really?
You can't misconstrue a German word. It means one thing and only that one thing.
I see, and so that's good. Though I suppose that still, even in Germany, not meaning what you say is still an existing thing, but it's never the fault of the words. It would only be a deliberate action of the person.
Yeah, so this is like the easiest one to point out because it's a more modern word, kind of, like in Japan, hot dogs in Japan are hatadogu, and it's just hot dog, but you're saying it in katakana. Yeah. In Germany, birth control is called anti-baby pillen. Anti-baby pillen.
Anti-baby pillen.
Anti-baby pillen.
Pillen. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's contraceptive.
Interesting.
And you could never mix that up because it's the anti-baby pill.
At first, I thought you said anti-baby killing, and I was confused. And I was like, I guess that makes enough sense. But that's neat.
They're efficient, but they're not that efficient.
The other day, I met this German math professor, and he was really cool. And I talked a little bit to him about his classes. But then I asked him what type of music he liked because I was just curious, and so we had this really pleasant conversation, and I found that he really enjoyed prog rock, and so we wound up kind of liking similar things. But then he asked me, Odette, have you ever heard of Eins du sind den Batten? And it was so weird because I've never heard anybody in my entire life bring up that band again, but he did, and it would make sense because he was an actual old German man, and so he would know about the German bands. But still, it was really surreal to hear someone bring up that band, because it's not as though they're particularly obscure, but he was like an elderly man, so it was very bizarre.
And you knew that band before you asked?
Yeah. Well, it's
crazy.
It's a really popular industrial band, and I used to be extremely into industrial music whenever I was in middle school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I've gone through so many different phases of music. Mm-hmm. Like when I grew up, my uncle adored metal, rock, and prog, and so I grew up with that. And my dad loved rap, and my mom loved alternative, and so I just got hit with all these different things.
Well, that's the way to do it, to be open-minded to any genre, because it'll help you to become more eclectic and whatnot.
Yeah. And one of the craziest things is that, so there's an artist that I fucking love. I adore him. His name's Mac Miller.
Mhm.
And Mac Miller is around my age.
Really?
And when I was growing up, I liked the stupid shit that he was making, and I found him super early on the internet, and my music taste kind of evolved with him. And he's dead.
Yeah.
Which sucks. In fact, if you don't know, Mac Miller was the first celebrity case of a fentanyl overdose.
I had no idea. I mean, I knew that he was dead, but I know very little about him or his music.
Yeah, so Mac Miller died to a fentanyl overdose, and the people who cut fentanyl, since fentanyl is so new, they didn't know that its LD50 or LD90 was so high, and they were just trying to, put less drugs in the drugs, and so fentanyl was super cheap, and they cut it in, and they didn't realize that they put in a killer dose, and he died in his own house by himself.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it sucks, but the beautiful thing about it, not the death, but how they handled the death, is that he was going through like a really transformative period, and he posthumously released a record. In fact, there was supposed to be 3 of them, and Fake Fan, I don't remember if all 3 were released as 3 or if it was just 2 of them. To my understanding, they only released 2 of them because the 3rd one wasn't done enough, and it was swimming and circles, and it was the idea he was swimming in circles in life.
Man, so were the tracks that were finished, like, were they produced as though he would have had them produced, or was it just they kind of had to estimate what exactly they wanted them to sound like, and they were finished, or were they finished?
So Mac worked with a very specific music producer who's a very hippie guy. He's actually super famous in music, and he normally doesn't really deal with rap, to my understanding. But Mac just really wanted to work with the guy. And that guy is still alive, and he actually had a really cool part on a documentary talking about Mac. And to my understanding, the songs are about 90% or 80% done for most of them. Like, all of Mac's vocals were done. And he already knew what Mac wanted them to be. So with, like, permission of the family, they released them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have both of them on vinyl, and I will never unseal them.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now, we might have opposite philosophies about, our physical music media, but what was the point of acquiring it if you're never going to open it, because then you're never going to, utilize it? All of my things, I like to open, I like to feel them and use the booklet and actually, play them. So, what's the appeal of the wrapped vinyls that you don't use?
I actually use all my vinyls with those.
Oh, okay.
Those in particular are just super special to me, and I don't want to open them.
I see. So it's just like it's not always what you do. It's just that these 2 in particular are especially important to you, and so they get this special treatment.
Yeah, I have a lot of albums and vinyls, and I actually have signed Beatles vinyls.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I have Sgt. Pepper's vinyls, which is just Beatles with a mustache on.
Well, I don't have any signed Beatles vinyls, but one time at a Frog Brigade concert, Sean Lennon looked at me with disdain, and so that's my claim to fame.
To be fair, he probably was just confused that a woman with mouse ears was in the crowd.
That's true. Maybe he was thinking, how inconsiderate that she doesn't fold down these ears or clip them down, because they could be blocking everybody's view, honestly.
You were being inconsiderate.
I apologize. Please forgive me.
Well, are you tall?
Not especially.
You're a mouse. Mouse aren't very tall. So
I would say that I'm kind of average. I'm an average mouse, Not especially tall.
I don't know off the top of my head what the average mouse girl height is, but I'd imagine it's not very tall.
It's just like average, like about 5'1", about average.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and next time
it's average. Yeah.
Next time I'll just clip down my ears, and then they won't be bothering anybody. But maybe they add to the appeal, because if somebody's standing right behind me, they can use the ears as like a target, so they can zone in on the performance. Like a sight.
Not to be if it's like too personal, because I know sometimes you can kind of figure out where someone is based off that, but What was the most recent concert you've ever been to?
Oh, I'm happy to talk about that, actually. It was Ween in Spokane, because I traveled all the way to Spokane, because I was going to see Ween in Spokane, and then I was going to go see Ween in Seattle, but of course they canceled their Seattle tour dates, because they're extremely erratic at the moment, and are constantly canceling tours, which is very disconcerting. But anyway, it was Ween, Seattle, and I actually, on my, I have actually talked about that quite a lot. So, yeah.
Oh,
I don't mind sharing that. I'm enthused about my
Actually-
concerts.
you reminded me of a cancel. I've only had one concert ever canceled on me.
What was it?
I finally got to be an adult and finally started making enough money, and I had a concert canceled on me from Mac Miller.
Oh no, that's such a bummer, because he was essentially your favorite,
Yeah.
and now that opportunity is lost.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to
it
hear
got
that.
canceled because he died.
Darn.
Yeah, he had a tour going on and he died. And so every September and every like kind of August, September, he's like only kind of what I listened to for the past couple of years. And then, I go back to listening to everything again. But my most recent concert that I've seen was actually someone called NF. I don't know if you know him.
Mm-mm.
NF is his name is Nate, and he has a really difficult to pronounce last name, so that's why I assume they just go by NF.
Okay. I
Um,
getcha.
He's got a lot of emotional songs where he's just yelling about life.
That's his trademark, is that he's a very earnest person.
Yeah. He's a rapper and he's a white guy. People call him emo Eminem. I don't see I don't see like the connection that much. I guess he's white and he raps, but he's super technical and he's very fast. I think being able to say something very deliberately, quickly is like super hard to do, and I really like that.
I see. That's one of the traits that you, I guess, admire the most as far as the musicians that you listen to go.
Yeah, and I mean, he also got some slower songs. He has some story songs. And not to mention, it's nice to, when you sing a song and you hear the lyrics and you think to yourself, like, like you think about the lyrics and they end up being something that's kind of nice to think about,
So, whenever you're listening to certain songs, do you ever have, like, mental music videos that play in your head?
Yeah, sometimes I'll imagine the actual music video if I've seen it, or sometimes I just come up with, like, whatever I think fits it the most.
Interesting.
Like, for example, when I hear, I had the song in my head earlier, the one that has like a 7-minute guitar solo that gets used in all the memes, Freebird. When I hear Freebird, the music video in my head is a car chase from the police every time.
Oh, interesting, actually. I can get it. It's kind of like a Dukes of Hazzard type thing with a southern car, and yeah. I getcha. I think.
Squid said the Define Feminine made him a better person. I agree with that. Define Feminine is one of Mac's better albums.
Really?
I
That's
love
the
that
one to
album
check
so
out.
fucking much.
Okay.
I think if it's your first time ever listening to him, I'd probably just go with his newest stuff because he's the most chilled out. Because basically when he was super young, like 14 was when he was getting popular. He was like Pittsburgh fucking stupid rap. Like he was rapping about money, cars, weed. And it was really dumb and it's really bad music now. But I was also 15 and 14 and I was like, this is the best shit ever.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
So
And then no, you can go.
No, I was just saying, I get the feel of what you're saying because he grew up alongside you, and so his music at any point in his life was perfectly evocative towards you because he was in that same mental stage.
Yeah, and it's really weird because a lot of people don't ever have that, and it's weird to see someone that, like, not to be parasocial, but to see someone go through similar problems as you and have similar, metamorphoses.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily parasocial. I think that's a healthy boundary, and I'm sure that is a statement that most people would, I find respectful to hear about, the way that you interact with their artwork.
Yeah, and, like, I have such an eclectic Spotify, which now has Weed on it. But, like, there's so many different songs. Like, I've had a sea shanty randomly pop up on my massive list. I have, like, lists for certain moods, but then I have, like, just the chaos list.
It's just like a mixture of everything.
Yeah, like it'll pop from J-Rock to fucking a sea shanty to, like prog. I really love Yes. I know like Yes is like the popular band to like. I don't give a shit. I love Yes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with something being popular because it's just an affirmation that it's enjoyable to a lot of people, you know?
Yeah, like obviously, actually, the thing that was really funny is so I was like super into anime for a very short period of time. And it was like when I kind of got into anime because of my trip to Japan. And the only thing anime I knew when I was young was Inuyasha, but I only saw it as cartoons that played at, Cartoon Network at night.
Yeah.
Like I never had that connection. Oh, this is anime. I love anime. I was like, I like the dog kid with the sword, and I like the one where he's drifting around in a white and black car when I was younger.
Well, that's probably the best way to interpret it is to just see it as a neutral, another medium, or see it as equivalent to cartoons. I think that's perhaps the purest way to see it because all it is a medium, you know?
Yeah, and so like I grew up with like OG Toonami, and I love all those shows so much, but I didn't really connect them as anime. And then when I got older, and I learned a lot about it. Inuyasha is a terrible show. I can't recommend it to people. The pacing's bad. Kagome's a bitch. But I love the show so much. You know when you love something, but like you can't recommend it to them because it's nostalgia that really keeps it together for you.
I suppose so, but I am willing to say that I think that it's good. I don't think it's just a nostalgia factor because I didn't watch it until later in life. Only if
do you like it?
Yeah, I did like it.
Yeah.
I found it compelling, and it doesn't hurt how beautiful it is visually. The character designs are very appealing.
Yeah, I think the one thing I do like about Inuyasha, and it doesn't happen for all the characters, and I think this is why people don't like it that much, but the characters are kind of flawed, and some of the characters never move on from being flawed. Like Kagome always just stays flawed and always just gets what she wants, but Inuyasha grows, and I really like Inuyasha growing. And I think that's why a lot of people like The Last Airbender, right? Because like certain characters like are really flawed, but then as the show goes on, they grow and like people love it so much.
I actually did not grow up watching it, but what was I going to tell you? Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
I'm in a similar boat. I didn't watch it until COVID.
I didn't watch it until a few months ago, and I've only watched the first season, but I'll watch the second one eventually. And I was pleasantly surprised by how actually good quality it was. It was a very enjoyable show. Even consuming it as an adult, I can see the appeal.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I think, like, watching a lot more anime, it changed a lot of my favorite mediums, too. Like, there's a lot of new shows that I like that are anime. And my favorite movie is an anime movie now.
What is it?
The original Ghost in the Shell is
seen it.
Probably my favorite movie of all time.
Of all time, eh?
Yeah. I mean, what's your... do you have, like, a favorite anime movie?
I probably do, but it probably can't get to the top of my head right now. So instead of answering with a favorite anime movie, oh gosh. No, I don't want to answer because I don't want to answer inaccurately. So I'll take a rain check on that question and I'll think about it later and I will, yeah.
If I can give you a movie that is my second favorite, it's called Red Line.
Red Line, what type of movie is it?
So Red Line is a movie that... So earlier, Raimi was talking about Space Dandy, and if you've ever seen Space Dandy, it has similar kind of vibes to Red Line, where the character is kind of like a macho Elvis type with like a pompadour. He's nowhere near as horny, because Space Dandy is always about just looking at boobies. But Red Line, he wants to win a race, and so it's a movie about a race. And the thing about Red Line that everyone talks about is Red Line is the last like modern anime to be animated in an old style. Every individual frame in Red Line is hand drawn.
Let me look at Red Line.
It took them 7 years and almost bankrupted the studio. And then it came out and it was so fucking good and saved their studio. It was a really, really big kind of risk to take for no reason.
I have never seen this, but I have seen the character before, and that's pretty cool, actually. Okay, yeah. I'll give it a watch eventually.
It's one of those movies where I watched it because I like cars, and then I came out being like, this was a masterpiece.
What do you think
I need
about?
to-
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, what do you think about Fantastic Planet?
Fantastic. You know, you probably caught me on something I've never heard of.
Really? Well, I was actually. It's a really popular French cartoon about these alien or monster creatures that have humans as little tiny pets.
Oh,
probably
I've
seen the
seen these
cover.
guys in memes.
Oh,
I've seen memes that they're like little mermen with like red beady eyes.
yes, indeed. And it's a very visually stunning movie with the sound is great. It's extremely atmospheric and it really draws you in. You should give that a watch, especially if you're fond of surrealistic things.
The style,
Hmm?
while it's not the same medium, the style kind of reminds me, and I might get the name wrong, but I think it's called Wizards.
Yeah, the Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah, it's around the same period. It kind of looks similar. I've loved Wizards.
It's been an
The Wizard.
extremely long time since I've seen it, but I am a Bakshi fan. Of course, I like heavy metal. I like Fritz the Cat. I like Fire and Ice. I like his Lord of the Rings. Good stuff.
Yeah. I think I only recognize 2 of those things, which means that I got some homework I can do if I want.
Apparently, we both have a lot of homework. I got to see Redline and oh god, I'm forgetting my homework already. And I gotta listen to the Mac Miller album, I guess, to culture myself, because I also tend to sometimes stay in my own musical bubbles and don't always experiment with sounds, but I ought to more.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know what?
Mm.
There's a song that I really like recently, and I used to listen to it with my ex all the time, and now I'm listening to it again. And it kind of appeared out of, like, it disappeared and it kind of popped up out of nowhere. But it's a band called Still Woozy.
Still losing?
Yeah, Still Woozy. Like if you're like, you know, woozy. And the song's called Goodie Bag.
Goodie
And
Bag.
man, I fucking love that song.
Alright, let's see. Still Lizzie. Still Lizzie or losing?
Woozy.
Losing?
Like, I'll put it in chat.
Okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just too delirious at this point, but I don't think
You're woozy.
Woozy. I'm so sorry that I misheard you so much.
It's fine.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'll never forgive you.
You're gonna start screaming and bashing your head into the wall and have a full-blown meltdown about my misunderstanding you and being unable to decipher your words.
Expect the twit longer.
I will expect it. I'm going to be awaiting it after I wrap up this here thingy of whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah. My experiences with Odette Balbsy.
Balbsy. My experiences with Odette Balbsy.
How do you prefer that being said? Do you like Balb or like Balbsy? How is it actually supposed to be pronounced?
It would be, I think technically you would just say out the acronym like BLABC, but I say Balbsy.
Oh.
Whenever people say Balbka, I think that it's funny, so I don't really mind mispronunciations. I
Yeah.
like how Rainy, she calls me Audit, and that's really funny and it's endearing.
Wait.
So I like when she says that.
Really?
Yeah.
She called you Audit?
She does call me Audit, as though she's an accountant. She's an auditor. I'm the auditor
Wow.
here.
So she calls you Audit and you call her Ricotta?
Ricotta, yeah.
Ricotta.
Ricotta. Yeah,
That's funny.
She has a fun name to say, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
I'm trying to remember the correct pronunciation. I think it's Raimi if you want to sound Japanese, but maybe I'm mistaken.
So I call her Raimi.
You call her Raimi.
Yeah, because I guess she has a weeb name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's kind of intrinsic to weebness. Because I know, like, if I saw that name on like a standard white lady, I'd just say Raimi,
Mhm.
because it kind of sounds more correct in English. But Raimi sounds nicer.
I suppose you're right.
Raimi Ricotta, Raimi Ricotta.
Do you have perhaps any parting words before we go to our next musical intermission and move on to our next series of guests?
Could I have some parting words, but
Okay.
before, could the musical intermission be Goodie Bag, if you don't mind?
goodie bag.
Yeah, the Still Woozy song.
Still woozy goodie bag. Okay, we'll do it. Still
Okay.
woozy goodie bag.
Okay.
Alright.
Imparting words of wisdom. You know, it'd be really funny to. No, I won't.
Just do it. Do what you're gonna do, buddy. And commit.
I don't. You know what? Being schizo is always something that sounds really funny, but then it's, you know.
Make a fool of yourself. It's too late now because you're locked in, and so you're hyping up this goofy.
Oh
thing
no,
you're
no, I'm
gonna
not.
do. Yeah.
I'd rather be disappointing.
Okay,
But
alright.
for-
Be disappointed.
For you know what?
What? Jesus! What are you going to do, bunny?
For words of wisdom,
Words of wisdom.
be yourself, even if it's disappointing.
I do that every day. You can ask
Or
my
lesbian.
mom about it. What? No, guy. Okay, we're kicking you. See, you're promoting stereotypes. You see, but we're gonna listen to his song anyway because we're considerate. So let's go ahead.
Pig nose. Who's that, like, fucking pig nose? Yeah.
Sven, do you think this music video is doomed just because you always have problems with the way you look?
That's possible.
Think about you. Prepare to leave my body when the time it comes through. Loving on you till the time it comes through. Why you always hate to break bread? Think about the way that you would feel if never said. Joke's on you when it's time to come through. Well, if she had to choose me or her mom, I know I wouldn't last long, yeah. No problem with the truth. But when she made me laugh, doom doom right to my tune. I love it's not hard to be in a place where life is easy. Like, what the fuck is real? What the fuck is wrong? I think I can fit with your tone. Like, oh, I think about you. And leave my body when the time it comes through. Loving on you till the time it comes through. Why you always hate to break bread? Think about the way that you would feel if never said. Joke's on you, well it's time to come through. Time to come through. Time to come through. Time to come through. You know I wanna be everything that you need, but I'm starting to see. You know I wanna be above everything, but I'm just not there yet.